BJJ fans, and of course the BJJ stands for Blind Judo Journey, and this is a terrible analogy for judo. This is the Judo Sandwich. So what's the first thing we need when we make a sandwich? We need bread, okay? The bread is the thing that holds everything together, and that in judo is the kumikata. Some people like really boring whole grain bread. It's good for you, it works, it's really dull, and that's sleeve lapel, okay? We can move around, we can do a lot of our judo from here, okay? But I want something a bit more fun, I want something a bit more edgy. Me personally, I'm a bit of a tiger bread guy. Okay. Everyone has their own style of what bread they like, okay? And there's different things that go with different breads. The second thing that we look for in a sandwich, okay, is we always look for a little butter, a little bit of sauce. What's that? In judo context, that's our ashiwaza. Again, there's lots of different types of ashiwaza we can do. We can attack this side. We can attack this side. We can... Kuchigari. But my point here is these are the small things that makes everything a little bit more slippery, okay? A little bit more movable, a little bit more malleable. What's next in the sandwich? The bit everyone cares about, okay? The bit everyone cares about is the meat, the filling, the best bit, okay? That's our big throws, that's our osotagaris. It's our uchimaras. It's our sianagis. Do you see how each one of those I used a different type of bread? One I did sleeve lapel, one I did from up here, one I did from here. Different fillings go with different bread. You need to learn what bread you use, what butter you use, and what filling does that taste best with. Finally, okay, we want something to add a little bit of spice to our judo, okay? What adds spice? Seasoning. What do I mean by that? Okay, we put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper on that, a little bit of spice, maybe even some chili. In a judo context, that's micro judo. That's tiny movements of your hands. Really small things, tiny movements of my hips. If I go sasai, maybe that little sasai, that little twitch is what allows me to go for my big throw. The little tiny bit of spice is what makes the filling even better, okay? Tiny bit of spice. This can be tiny movements with your hands, tiny movements with your hips, and then we can be big filling. For me personally as well, the seasoning, the chili, the spice, the extra little bit, that's the thing that makes it all come together. People don't expect it sometimes. I like having a little trick shot. I think judo is much better if you have all the basics that you've got. Your fundamentals are always important. It's nice if you have something personal that's your thing. Maybe don't see it coming. When you're eating your brown bread, ham, butter sandwich, nice and boring, nothing's happening. But then you hit Yoko Tomo, and everything just tastes better. So what was the point in this video? It was to give you a rubbish analogy for judo. You can take this into coaching, but it's also really to give you a way of breaking down the way you think about judo. You need kumikata. You can't throw people if you don't have grips. You need the butter. You need the movement, the ashiwaza. That's the thing that makes everything slippery. If you don't create that movement, don't create that off-balancing, that kazushi, well then your filling is never going to taste any good. If you're going to hit it, it's going to be dry. Want to see what a dry uchimata looks like? But if I had some ashiwaza, then maybe it would taste a bit better. And then we put a little bit of seasoning on there just to make it all nice and spicy and cool. We throw in a yokotomo, a katagaruma, a sumi, whatever that might be, something to make your sandwich taste even better. If you want to follow me on my blind judo journey into international culinary judo, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Soramade.